Okay, welcome back to week 5. This is part 2, as I mentioned, because week 5 just has so much going on. You can see this is where the videos are going to be, right above week 5. I wanted to break it up so that there was a natural kind of pause point, so it wasn't too much at once. So in part 1, I encourage you to take a look at that first if you haven't already done so. It goes through chapter 12, which is the main chapter, and it goes through a lot of resources that are connected to chapter 12, including a couple websites, and then of course our career services department, as well as some resources embedded within career services. So this video will specifically talk about the assignments for this week. So again, just as a real quick recap overview, this is week 5. It runs from the 14th through the 20th. We are back to a discussion post due by Wednesday night for week 5 attendance, your original post, and then respond to 2 classmates by Sunday at 11:55. And you'll also have to do these other 3 assignments. You can see that this one right here, it says you have to complete this for your discussion forum. So you have to complete that first. So technically that is due by Wednesday. So you want to get that done first because you're going to use this assignment as your basis of discussion for the discussion forum. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one right now. Let's go into assignments, and you can see right here, exploring educational pathways to a career. You click in it. There's another quick video if you wanted to watch that pertains specifically to these assignments. It's up to you if you want to have a little extra support, but here's what this is going to do. So you are going to click in here, and it is going to open up into one of these talking.
Picking a degree is so stressful.
I'm going to make it quiet. Talking, kind of moving PowerPoints here, and it's going to kind of talk to you about some things, and it's going to have you click. You can click out of it to go to the academics page. We are going to use that. Once I have that academics page up and running in the background, I'm going to go ahead and keep going. There's a little video here that talks about the academics, but I'm also going to show you some of this. And it also asks you to go to Career Coach. So I'm going to click on that. To get to Career Coach, you can also go to the bottom of our Star State homepage and just click Career Coach. So there's a couple different ways to get there. Let me bring our assignment back up. I'm going to go ahead. Okay, we got those things going on. Here's a little video specifically for Career Coach. So again, you can feel free to watch that embedded in that assignment. And now here's the actual activity or the assignment part. There are going to be choice 1 and choice 2. So I would recommend a couple different things here. If you 100% know what your degree is, that's going to be choice 1, obviously. You know what your degree is, choice 1. If you don't know what your degree is, you're kind of figuring it out or you're on the edge, go with one that you're interested in. Or maybe if you're going back and forth between 2, that's choice 1 and choice 2 right there. If you know what your career is, choice 1, and then choice 2 can be something either related or maybe just something for fun you want to look into. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to do this twice. One screen for choice 1, one screen for choice 2. The information is coming from the same place. All right, so I have to get this information right here about my degree. Where do I go for that? Well, I clicked the academics page, but if you didn't click that within the assignment, it's real simple. Go to Star State homepage, go to the tab where it says academics, and then go ahead and find the career either that you've already declared or that you're thinking of, kind of the community page. So let's say I'm going to rely on my example from my previous video, my physical therapy. So I'm going to go into health. You're going to see all of these sub-pages are set up in a very similar way. It's going to give you just a really general overview of health, some contact information for the program, some skills and abilities, some employers that have connections to that field. I'm going to keep going. Lots of information here. Quick links, you can request information, look at transfer agreements. Here is a real quick snippet of information we talked about from the part 1 video that you can get from like that BLS website, from Career Coach, and so on. But I'm going to keep scrolling down, and here are my actual programs, my actual degrees I can get. So I'm going to click. I said I'm going to follow with my other example, physical therapy assistant. Now it's going to get a little bit more specific to PTA. So it's going to give me my specific program contact and some really good information about the program specifically. But I'm also going to go ahead and click on courses. And here is where I have some PDFs. They're going to have the same information, just depends on if I'm going full-time or part-time. Just going to vary, and kind of, if I click full-time, it's going to tell me kind of a full-time suggested path. versus a part-time suggested path. Same classes, same information, just kind of different semesters. But you can see what I'm talking about down here. Like this is if I were going full-time. This is the suggestion to take. But here are all the classes I have to take. It's going to give me their numbers, the title, how many credits, pre and co-recs, and so on. Okay, so this is what I'm going to rely on for the first part of this assignment. So I'm going to actually just pull this down a little bit. And so it says my division. Right there it is, Health and Public Services. So that's what I would type here. Health and Public Services. My degree, well, I want to get an Associate of Applied Science. My major, PTA, physical therapy assistant. My program requirements. Okay, so here is where I don't have to list out all this, guys. That's way too much. So I might put something along the lines of 67 credits, minimum grade of C in all my tech and non-tech courses, as well as an application. That's all I would put. I'm not going to put, I have to take all these classes. I don't have to get really detailed. Okay, so I would just put in this right here, program requirements, 67 credits, minimum grade of C, and application process. That's all I need for this. And that completes this top part right here. So remember, you have to do this twice because you're doing choice 1. I chose physical therapy assistant, but let's say for choice 2, I'm like, you know what? I've also wanted to kind of know the difference between that and occupational therapy. So I'm going to do occupational therapy for choice 2. Or maybe, you know what? I kind of think it would be interesting to find out what it would take to become a chef. So I'm going to look at culinary arts for fun. So that's totally up to you. Depends on how you're kind of approaching this. Some people do one as their absolute choice and choice 2 is kind of a fun choice, or they look at 2 very related fields, or maybe they're trying to decide between 2 fields. So that's where you get the information though for choice 1 and 2 at the top is this page right here. Your degree, your division, your major, and then just the general program requirements. Okay, now I need to know this information down below. So in video part 1, if you recall, we went to Career Coach and we went to this page and I typed in physical therapy. And here is my results and I just click on where I want to go. Okay, so now my bottom part wants to know my job or career, so I would just put in, my physical therapy assistant, my average salary. Well, I have it right there on the page, $58,812. My job posting, so I'm going to go to, there's 26 annual job openings. I can also click over here, and I can kind of see who is posting right now. So I could kind of put like 26 yearly openings, although I'm going to spell the word yearly right. Good Lord, y'all. Doesn't help when I have different things running here. Yearly openings. And then maybe I write down like Stark Parks. And then I'll pick one more, like Heather Knoll, to give examples. And then qualifications. What qualifications do I need? So this is where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to the About. And this kind of tells me right here, oh, I'm going to need at least an associate's degree. I'm going to have to do really well with written communication, as well as, obviously my physical therapy information. I got to know about infection control. So I'm going to pick just a couple things. I don't have to write all of this down. Okay, guys, you do not have to write down every little thing, but it's just to make sure that you have the general information needed for, just to know more about your field. So I'm going to fill that out. And then of course, when I'm done with choice 1, I hit submit and it's going to pop up again for choice 2. Same questions, so you're going to use the same resources to find those answers. Okay, once you're done with that, you hit submit. Give me a minute. It's going to pop open again for me. Now you're ready to do your career discussion forum. So you're going to post by Wednesday for week 5 attendance, and here is your prompt. It says discuss your findings from the assignment, meaning this one up here, that you chose. So let's say for me, I chose physical therapy and I chose occupational therapy. So I'm going to talk about, here are the 2 majors that I chose. Here's what I found interesting or surprising. So you're just basically going to recap it for your classmates. Here's the majors that I selected. here's what I found new, or hey, I was already really well researched, but here is still what I found or discovered or learned, or here's what I want to know more about. And then of course you're going to go back and respond to 2 classmates, okay? So you have to do this assignment first, use what you discover here to respond to your discussion forum, all right? Then the other 2 assignments for this week go together as well. Here is where you're going to have to, remember I alluded to Firefox in my previous video, so I already have Firefox up and running here in the background. So these 2 things go together. So I'm going to log into Firefox. I'm going to get into my start state. I'm going to click on my stuff, and I'm going to go to map. It's going to make me relog in. Here we go. Okay, so for you, it's going to open right up because you're a student. For me, it's not, because I obviously am not a student. My brother gave me permission years ago to use his information, so that's who I'm going to display right now. He graduated multiple years ago. So here's what your map page looks like. It's a really great resource for scheduling, just for kind of keeping track of your degree progress. You can see all the green checks are going to be all the classes that you've taken, all the requirements that are done, and then anything outlined in red is going to be anything that's not completed. You have to still kind of finish, right? So that's map. And you also want to check to make sure everything up here is correct. Make sure they have the right degree listed, because if that's wrong, everything else on the page is wrong. The degree and major, make sure that they have just general kind of contact information. Here's your advisor. So just a really helpful page altogether. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do, and this is where I mentioned in the first video, I'm going to do some like back and forth here. It says to save your map page as a PDF. So I already have my map page up and going, right? Here it is. I'm just going to click right here. Save as a PDF. Here it is. I'm going to go over here and I can hit print, and I'm just going to make sure I hit save to PDF instead of print. I don't want to print it, unless of course you want to print it, you can do that too. Then I'm just going to pick a place to save it. I'm just going to save it as map. Okay, and there we go. I've saved my map page. I'm going to go back in here, click, browse my files, find out where I saved it. There it is. Hit open and then hit submit. Of course, it's not going to do anything for me since I'm not a student, but that's how I would go through that process. Okay, so that's map. Again, it's going to work best in Firefox. I'm going to tell you right now, if you try to do it in another browser, I'm not going to get it. It's just, I've been having this assignment and these issues for many years. It just won't work. So if you try to upload it and you can't see it, that means I can't see it. So if you don't save it as a PDF inside Firefox, I will not see it. Also, if you have a Chromebook or a Mac, you're also going to have problems with this. So what I suggest, if you have a Chromebook or if you have a Mac, or if you're just having problems in general, I am totally fine with you taking screenshots and uploading screenshots if that is easier for you. Because I'm not going to be as picky about, oh my gosh, this isn't saved as a PDF, as I am like, did you get the information? Like, were you able to find it? Do you know where this is? So even a screenshot is going to show me that, hey, at least you looked at this and you know how to get into it. I don't want you to have a, get a headache over technology. So save it as a PDF in Firefox and upload it. Or if you're having too many difficulties, take a screenshot and send it to me that way in the Dropbox. You can do that. All right, the other assignment, so that's map. The other assignment that goes with it is your program advisor assignment. This is a Word doc, so you're going to click on it, and here's the Word doc. You're going to use your map page to find these answers. So real easy. I'm going to pull my map page back up, and I'm going to have my Word doc just minimized so you can kind of see where I'm getting this information. All right. So what degree is listed in your profile? Right there. Degree, Associate of Applied Business. What is your major? Major, Business Management. What is your catalog year? This is usually tricky to find because it's so teeny tiny. I'm going to scroll down a little bit, right-hand side. For most of you, it's going to say 21, 22. Although depending on when you started, it might say 20, 21. So it just depends. But there's your catalog year over there in the corner. And then who is your academic advisor? That is listed right there. Okay, so once you're just filling out this information from your map page, type it, save it, get back into Blackboard, find where you saved it, and upload it. Okay, so that is it. So as a recap for week 5, please make sure you go back and watch the video for part 1, which really goes into detail, chapter 12, information and concepts, and making sure that you're familiar with kind of all of the resources available to you for every stage of the career process you're in, whether you have selected a major or not, whether you're at the beginning or toward the end of your career path, networking, interviewing, resumes, all of that. And then whenever you're ready to do the assignments, remember that you need to complete this assignment first, exploring educational pathways. Use your results there to post in the discussion forum, post by Wednesday for week 5 attendance, respond to 2 classmates by Sunday. And then these 2 assignments are due Sunday as well. Use Firefox to upload your PDF of your map page, and then use your map page to fill out the table here. Okay, so those are due Sunday as well. And then as you will see in week 6, when we come back next week, week 6 will be a continuation of this, where we're going to get into career coach, as we already have been. We've already been a career coach a little bit, but you're going to take the assessment that you need to take. So that's coming up. So we're going to be back in career coach for week 6. All right. If you have any questions over anything from week 5, please reach out and have a great week. Bye.